Oh, yeah. Ah, that's it. I gotta upgrade this sawmill and fix this boardwalk before I break my ankle. Hey y'all, welcome back to Seriously Stump'd. Stick around today because I'm finally gonna upgrade this sawmill. I've showed you guys a couple of videos of these roller guide assemblies here. These blade guide assemblies here. And today we're gonna upgrade them to roller guide assemblies. So y'all stick around and figure out exactly how we do that. All right, so while I go ahead and remove these blade guide assemblies, these are the stock ones that you get from MechMaxx, straight out of the shipping crate, straight from China, even through tariff wars or whatever else is going on. This is what you get. And I have really no qualms with these other than the fact that I feel like I'll be able to get better blade tension if I go ahead and upgrade to these roller guides here. And I picked these roller guides up online. I need to look up exactly what it was, but I will tag these roller guides below because I shopped around for them, but I'll tag them in the video description below so you can get all of the pieces and parts that you'll need. Another thing I want to point out is that your shank here is offset, and what that does for you is it allows you to rotate the position of your shank and raise and lower your blade guide assemblies. I see a lot of questions online about how to adjust the height of these, and that's pretty much it. You just rotate the offset shank around, then lock it in with your 5/8 inch bolt up here, and by doing that, you can then have your blade guide assembly at a higher point or a lower point, depending on where you need it for your blade. But we need to take these off because we're gonna replace them with this custom made piece from a guy named Asher. His sawmill upgrades were featured on Brock with Rock Hill Farms YouTube channel. He went through the overall process of everything Asher did, but he is now selling these. So if you guys have one of these MechMaxx sawmills, the SM26, the SM32, the SM36, any of them, you can reach out to him and I'll have his email linked below, and you can get this shaft which fits up with these roller guides to where you can actually make this conversion. And like I said, I will give you all of that stuff linked in the video description below after you watch this video. Boom, boom, boom. Moving right along, let me go ahead and apologize. I looked it up. I ordered my roller guide assemblies 1¼ and 1.5 inches directly from Wood-Mizer, and it was shipped to my house for $130. Here is the factory blade guide assemblies you get from MechMaxx once you take them apart. One thing you are losing when you do this is you see this port in the back here. That's where your water for your cooling liquid comes out onto your blade. You will need to circumvent the process and mount this up somewhere else to where you can get cooling liquid on your blade, because the shanks that you get from Asher do not have that port. But what you do get is this exact setup right here. So as you can see, it's offset just like the ones from MechMaxx are, and you then take your Wood-Mizer rollers or wherever you get your 1¼ by 1.5 inch blade roller guides, slide it on over your brass fitting just like that. You don't need to use any of the felt stuff that comes with these rollers. You then just take your included washer, pop it on over the top, throw on your lock nut, and you'll be able to slide it right back into the factory holes over there, and you'll be ready to mill with your new roller guides. Super simple, no extra crazy modifications you need to do. I was told that you will lose a little bit of cutting width. So if you got the SM32 and you're used to cutting like, 29 inch diameter logs, you may only be able to cut like 28¼ I haven't done the measurements. As you can see, I just took mine off, but I don't think that's really gonna be too big of a deal for me. And just like that, with the help of a 5/8 inch wrench and an 11/16 inch wrench for your top bolt, the 5/8, 11/16 on your lock nut, you can have your roller guide assemblies set up. Well, you also need a 3/4 inch socket to be putting on your lock nut on the outside of this, but you're good to go from there. And as you can see, I have pretty good blade tension by just rotating this offset shank to give me that appropriate plane. And then I just take my handy dandy torque wrench from Harbor Freight, put it on the outside of my T-handle, probably gonna go up to like 30 foot-pounds, and see how this thing cuts. I imagine it's gonna be a marked improvement. The other really cool thing you can get from Asher is these custom 1/4-inch scales here that will replace your factory. And I'm gonna go ahead and bolt these up here. But as you can see, you can go from 2-inch cuts to 1 3/4 inches to 1.5 inches to 1 1/4 inches, all the way down to, I believe, 3/4 cuts at the end there. But it's super awesome that he has these available for 3D prints, and that you can get those shanks to where you can do this entire upgrade in 10 minutes, start to finish. Remember, after you do anything like this, you do want to verify your blade tracking. You want 3/8 of an inch blade protrusion on either side, and you adjust those by adjusting your bolts on either side. And I haven't ran this MechMaxx sawmill in quite a few months. As you can see, if I navigate my way in here, I use this handy dandy cobweb collector 3000 to collect all the cobwebs off the engine, and I actually left a few. So let's see if this thing will fire up. Go ahead and get it. Make sure that's on. Put a little choke to it. As you can tell, this thing didn't want to fire up. I got my emergency stop switch released. So let me see why I don't have spark, and I'll get right back to you guys. Well, if that doesn't show you how long it's been since I ran this thing, I don't know what does. I came around here to get my camera set up so I can show you me filling this up with gas, because I tell you guys all the time to keep it simple, stupid. And if it ain't got no gas in it, it might not run. And then to set the camera up, I had to lower this down. Well, as it turns out, there's an electrical safety switch. So I have them closed now. I guarantee you this thing fires up now if I didn't flood it out. So let's find out. Oh, just like that. She's up and running, and no fault of the machine. It was all on me. But I was excited to put gas in this thing because I was going to show you guys this SureCan, and not really just because I want to show you the SureCan, but to let you guys know that I'm going to the Kentucky Expo this week. So hopefully I see some of you guys there, particularly on Friday. You'll see me running around. I'll be the guy with the most amount of energy of everybody there, as I always am, because you know I like to bring energy to things. And the reason I bring up the SureCan is because I bought this last year when I was meeting the MechMaxx team, who I was hoping was going to be there this year, but I've been informed that they're likely not going to be there. And the reason is that they are taking lead from other companies in their market, and they're going to be customer facing very soon with a full facility to where people can go put their hands on this piece of equipment before they buy it. Specifically, I think the location is going to be in New Jersey. I think they've ironed that out, so they're going to open up a whole warehouse to where, obviously they already have a warehouse in New Jersey, but they're going to open up a whole showroom to where you'll be able to go in there and look at the sawmills, look at the stump grinders, look at the wood chippers, look at their mini skid steer, their mini excavator, all of their stuff. And please keep in mind that if you ever want to buy something from MechMaxx, I always have a coupon code linked in my video description to where you can save yourself an extra 5%, and it does help out the channel. But let's get back to this upgrade. I did throttle it up a little bit, and I heard a little bit of grinding, so I think I need to slide my roller guides a little further forward, but I'm going to iron out those kinks and show you guys this thing in operation. Let's go. So, full transparency as always, one of the reasons I haven't used this mill as much as I would like is because my turbocharged VX23S doesn't do the best job at loading these logs up here. But that Direct V1000, y'all know that thing's a different animal. As you can see, it will load up anything I want to put on this sawmill. So let's get after it. First thoughts, this thing's cutting better than it ever has with these rollers. I do have to continue to finagle my water because as you could tell in those first couple cuts, it was dripping directly on the log and actually wasn't getting on the blade, but this seems to be working well. It's just a little bit too fast. But moving on to this scale, I set my 0 at 2, and then I drop it down to 3, I make my first cut. And then it's cool because I can just go back to 2. It allows me to cross right back over my board, and then I drop down to 4. Rinse, wash, repeat, and now I can drop it down to 6 and make my last cut. You just always have to be mindful to give a good look down your blade to make sure you're not going to hit any of your log dogs or anything like that. But so far, these rollers are surely paying dividends. Like I said, $110, I believe, shipped to my house for these, and then you hit up Asher and he can get you these roller pins and you'll be good to go. Now I can fix my boardwalk. All right, Stump fam, that's about all the time I got for you guys today. As you can see, these planks turned out pretty good for the boardwalk. I'll be able to fix those gaps in no time. That way I don't trip and break an ankle before I get to see you guys at the expo on Friday. If you do see me there, stop. I might have a koozie or a sticker for you, but I'm going up there to check out some stuff, visit that buddy who ran the sawmill with me before. He's the Army helicopter pilot. But that's all, like I said, all I got for you guys today. I just wanted to walk you through the quick roller upgrade for your sawmill. And I'm not lying, this is probably the best upgrade I've done for this sawmill. These cuts were a giant pain when I built the whole boardwalk, just for how tedious it was. But these look super smooth, pretty well symmetrical. And I didn't even take any time with my square or anything to line up my cant. I kind of just, you know, busted it out real quick for the video. So as always, if you guys have any questions, please drop them below. There's going to be links to everything in the description below as well. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff that supports us YouTubers. And as always, hopefully you're no longer stumped. Please remember to stay safe and stay hydrated. God bless you all, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. But for real, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Now if I can just get my Benford powered drill, I can reinstall these boardwalk planks and Karen won't break her ankle when she comes to write me up.